Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever gotten one of those scam texts about getting a withdrawal from your bank, or hey, you need to verify your information. Have you ever gotten one of those? I definitely have, but there's a new cash bag scam.
If you have a debit card or a bank account, you need to know about this right now.
It's called the cash bag scam.
Scary. And another person lost over $10,000, and banks are now saying that this is happening multiple times a day.
The manager told him about another customer who lost $10,000 days earlier.
The bank manager came up to me and said, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure you're not being scammed. We stop 2 to 3 a day.
Adam learned how it works and how you can avoid falling for it.
Between the 3 trucks, $600–700 a week in gas.
Moses Harmon has kept a close watch on his charges and expenditures since opening a landscaping and lawn care company 25 years ago. So he was surprised when earlier this month,
I got a text message asking me if I had made charges.
The message, which appeared to be from Wells Fargo, asked if Harmon charged $2,800 at a Best Buy in San Francisco.
When I replied no, a couple minutes later, I got a call from Wells Fargo.
Bro, this is
the person
crazy.
on the call read him a list of his recent banking transactions, including his mortgage payment.
They called off 3 or 4 transactions. Boom, boom, boom. And they were legitimate transactions that I had done.
They then warned that several outgoing wire transferred were scheduled to be sent from his bank account to people he didn't know.
I'm thinking to myself, you know, I'm talking to the people from Wells Fargo.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how sure were you that it was Wells Fargo?
At that moment, I was 100% sure it was them.
But it turns out it wasn't his bank.
Anybody is susceptible to a particular type of scam at any time.
Roger Grimes works for cybersecurity company KnowBe4, which educates customers about phishing, ransomware, and social engineering.
Anybody can fake any phone number.
Grimes says by mimicking a customer's phone number and entering a few pieces of information available on the dark web, like social security numbers and dates of birth, scammers can use phone-based...
Dude, what's really crazy to me is that, like, your info can be on the dark web with the swiftness, and somebody can be stealing your identity like it's nothing.
Banking systems to learn account balances and recent transactions.
The more information they can give you about you, you start to feel confident, oh, it really must be this person.
Harmon says the caller told him that someone who worked for Wells Fargo was trying to transfer and steal his money. So
I don't know about y'all, I've gotten voicemails that have been like, hey, this is so-and-so from Chase Bank, but I don't know, maybe I was raised in the generation where I start to realize this stuff. I'm pretty tech savvy. I'm online a lot, so I kind of realize, like, if I'm getting some text from Chase Bank that says, did you make this withdrawal? And I check my account and there's no withdrawal made. Now, I did have somebody try to steal my information from PetSmart. I was trying to book Loki a bath, and somebody tried to steal my identity on PetSmart, so I had to take all my stuff off of PetSmart. But the problem is everybody wants you to create an account. That's another thing, is everybody wants you to create an account to something. Then when you do that, you're putting your email address, your phone number, and you're putting yourself at risk, because then people, if they have a data breach, which it seems like, I don't know about you guys, it seems like everybody's having a data breach right now. You have a data breach, and now your information's up for grabs because this site couldn't keep their data locked down. It's annoying.
they needed his help.
They said, well, we're going to need you to come down to the bank tomorrow, close your account, open up a new account.
At that moment, they believe that they're in a crisis that needs this urgent action, or they're going to lose their retirement.
Harmon told the caller he would go to a South Tampa Wells Fargo branch the next morning. The scammer called as he arrived at the bank, telling him to withdraw $15,000 in cash, informed the teller he needed it for a renovation, and bring the money to the parking lot.
Then they said, we need you to keep your phone on while you're going into the bank so we can hear everything that's said.
What?
That was the biggest red flag.
Harmon realized something wasn't right as he approached the teller.
She handed me a withdrawal slip. She said, I need you to fill that out. I turned the withdrawal slip over, wrote on it, I think I'm being scammed. I handed it to her.
She got the manager, who told Harmon to hang up. Harmon said the manager told him about another customer who lost $10,000 days earlier in a similar scam.
These cash bag scams where people go to the bank, get the cash, hand it or mail it to somebody, I've never heard of any of that being retrieved. It's gone forever.
Grimes says he was recently questioned.
Bro, you ain't getting that money back. You think the bank's gonna sit there and give it, be like, yeah, you pulled out 10 racks. We're just gonna pay that back for you. No. This reminds me of when the the Nigerian princes would reach out to me back in the day and say, hey, I've got $1 trillion. I just need you to send me $3 grand. I'm going to send you $5 grand in a Western Union, and you just got to send me $3 grand back, and you keep the change. Like those Western Union scams. Y'all remember those?
At his own bank when he made a large withdrawal.
The bank manager came up to me and said, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure you're not being scammed. We stop 2 to 3 a day. So imagine that
That's
one
crazy.
bank branch is stopping 2 to 3 of these, what I call cash bag scams a day, and multiply that by the many tens of thousands of bank branches we have.
There are currently about 70,000 bank branches in the U.S.
All right, now that you have seen...
That's crazy. This is a big scam. I didn't know this was so... I didn't know this was so prevalent, but it seems like it always starts with a text, and then after the text is when, you know, really they're trying to get all your info. This guy further breaks it down. I just wanted to kind of cover it. But dude, this is wild. Like the fact that we're running into a world now where you have to really be careful with any money that you have, whether it's, you know, in a bank or it's in crypto or something like that. It's like, this is... Oh man, people are getting scammed. It just seems like this is more and more prevalent. Like there's a lot of people right now, and I've even gotten stuff from like getting crypto text messages and things like that where people are trying to scam you, and you know, it's like this is something that a lot of people have to be really weary of now, because if you're not, you will get scammed. I feel bad for a lot of people that don't know, you know, the internet that well and think, oh, I know who I can trust. I know what's going on, you know, and in reality, it's like, bro, you got to really be careful. You got to really be careful with who has your information, what apps you download, you know. So it's like, it's wild to me. And it seems like they always target the older folks, you know, like they're never going for people that are, for people that are young. They're always going for the older people. So it's sad.
Day, you're so lucky, you're full of luck, it's your lucky day.
No, it wasn't Sarah's lucky day. It was a setup for a classic $20 distraction scam. And by the time it was over, thousands had vanished from her bank account and her daughter's.
And this is the Ralph's I usually come to.
On Wednesday, April 16th.
Good old Ralph's. That must be a northern thing. I don't know of any Ralph's here in the South.
Sarah went to Ralph's grocery store on Satakoy Street and Louise Avenue in Van Nuys. As she was using her debit card to pay, a stranger approached her and said
that I dropped $20, and I said, no, I don't think I did. And I was putting my PIN into the machine, and he came much closer to me and was kind of pushing the $20 into my wallet. You need to back up. Back off.
It all happened in a matter of seconds. Sarah kept insisting.
And I'm like, no, this is yours. This isn't mine.
As Sarah walked back to her car, the same man, now joined by a woman, followed her, again insisting she take the $20. They continued to invade her space.
I knew it wasn't mine. The reason I was getting cash back was because all I had was a couple dollars.
Sarah left the parking lot feeling weird about the encounter. She checked her wallet to see if maybe they had taken any of her cash. They hadn't, but something else was missing.
My heart sank because my debit card wasn't there.
Within 30 minutes, the scammers made multiple withdrawals at Chase Bank several miles away. God. In total, nearly $5,000 was taken from Sarah's account and her daughter Jennifer's too, because their accounts are linked.
My money is...
Oh, so they put the 20 in there, and when they did that, they grabbed your cards. I mean, it's crazy.
Gone, and I had just gotten paid. You know, and I'm a teacher. I don't make a lot of money. I really don't. And what I make goes to the things I need, and we can't cover that right now. So it's hard to know that someone can take what you have so easily.
Jennifer filed a police report and shared the story online.
See, the hard thing about these financial crimes is even if you do report it, like most of the time, the banks can't do anything, bro. They really can't do anything. Like they'll do what they can, but I think a lot of times they won't even give you your money back. I mean, I think you can get your money back sometimes, but not always, bro. They're like, hey, man, you got scammed. Like it is what it is. There's nothing we can do. So...
It's a scam that's leaving shoppers broke in
I
minutes.
think this is another kind of popular scam. This $20 scam right
Thieves
here.
are using a sneaky $20 trick to swipe your debit card and wipe out your bank account. Fox 11's Gina Silva is live in Van Nuys with the story. Have been drained.
Okay, I think it's the same story. The $20 one, that's actually kind of smart. It's kind of like reverse stealing, you know what I mean? Like you give them a little bit of money, you know, and then you get to take, you know, what you can out of there. But you know, you got the Cash App scam, you got the Klarna glitch, you got the there's so many things right now, bro, that are going around this cash bag scam. Like, it's wild to me. Like, you got to really be careful. BBB warns of tap to pay scam. Oh, golly, how many scams are there?
Tapping your credit card or phone to pay has become second nature for most of us.
But now scammers are doing something called ghost tapping to steal your money. Fox 23
Ghost tapping?
evening anchor Shay Rossi
I've heard about real tapping, if you know what I'm saying. I ain't never tapped no ghost, though.
shows us what that is. It's today's BBB Scam Alert.
Instead of swiping our credit cards, most of us try to tap to pay when we can. It's supposed to be the safer way to use.
Before I know anything about this, chat, put a 1 in the chat and be honest. Do you tap to pay? Dude, I'm really bad. I don't even tap to pay. I'll use the Apple Pay on my phone. Like, go do the bing, bing, bing. You know what I mean? Like, double click it on the side. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe I should stop doing that.
Credit or bank cards.
Grandma, what you doing with a leak that big? Is that a leak? What is that, baby girl? It's massive.
To avoid hidden skimming devices thieves can put on machines. But the Better Business Bureau says thieves have found another way to access your accounts.
What we're seeing are devices called NFC, near communication devices, that can pick up your credit card number on those tap to pay cards. They have to get really, really close to you in order for that device to work.
Since thieves have to get close to you to steal the info from your card, Amy Mitchell with the BBB offers this advice.
So the first thing is, when you're paying at a store, make sure you're keeping an arm's length of distance away from the next person. Try to keep your stuff secure. If at all possible, get a RIDF sleeve that will protect your card information so that those scanners can't work. If you put your credit card in this, then it will protect it from being scanned from outside devices.
It's also a good idea to use an RFID blocking wallet, period, but especially if you're going into crowded spaces like concerts or festivals.
If you still physically have your card, you're not going to notice right away that your card or info might be stolen. So what should we look for in our account? How do scammers kind of test these things out?
So what we want to look for is, number one, check that bank's balance almost every single day, because what will
I check mine every day. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you check yours.
happen with these scammers is that you'll start out with like a little $3, $4 charge, like tiny little charges, and they'll get more and they'll get more until they drain your bank account. And then you're out of funds in your account and can't do anything.
It's called ghost tapping because you don't see it happening. When you really are paying for something, the BBB says check the amount on the screen at the register or on a vendor's handheld payment device and compare the amount to your receipt to make sure the numbers match.
It's a good idea to set up transactions.
That's crazy. I don't know about you guys, but the bank I bank with, I have them send me text messages of things if it goes over a certain amount. I'm like, all right, I want to know if it's over a certain amount. This way I'm not like, oh my God, what just happened? But I've heard of the skimming stuff. I've heard of the skimming. Like, you know, you go to a store, like you go to a 7-Eleven and it's all janky on top. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But also, I don't use my debit card anywhere. I don't know about you guys. I don't use my debit card anywhere because, in my opinion, your debit card's what, like if that gets hacked and your money gets stolen from your debit card, you really are cooked. But your credit card, at least you can dispute the charges and things like that. So it makes it a little bit easier. Loki, do you want a jerk, dude? You want a jerk, Mr. Dude? Free. Sit. Wait. Free. Go to your place. All right, let's switch gears here. If you have kids, this will hit hard. You have been warned.
I'm 80 years old, and somehow I woke up in my 32-year-old body just for one day. I wake up to little hands tugging at the blankets. Mum, wake up, they shout. I blink and I sit up slowly. My babies, they're small again. They climb into bed, giggling, wiggling. I remember rushing through mornings, but not today. I pull them close, I hug them tight. I kiss their messy hair, I hold their little hands. This time, I soak in every second. I catch my reflection in the bathroom mirror. No deep lines, no grey hair, my younger face. I used to think I looked old at 41. What a silly thought. I find my husband in the kitchen making coffee. He looks strong and he looks young. I wrap my arms around him tightly. He looks surprised. Maybe we didn't hug enough back then, I think. We talk about the day, and today it all feels big. I memorise the sound of his voice. We pile into the car, kids arguing over seatbelts. Someone drops a snack, there's crumbs everywhere. I used to get so frustrated, but today I soak in the noise and the chaos because I know my car will be quiet and spotless for many years to come. Dinner is loud and unorganised. No one wants to sit still. There's shouting, giggling, arguing, and so much life. I don't clean up straight away. I just sit and I watch, trying to burn it all into my memory. Before bed, I pick up the phone. I call my mum, and I hear her voice. I haven't heard this voice in so many years. I close my eyes and I let her words wash over me. I tell her I love her again and again. I never want to hang up. And this time, I don't leave anything unsaid. At bedtime, I don't skip pages in the story. I read every single word. And then I ask, can we read one more book? And they say yes. I don't want this day to end. I got one more day, and this time, I knew that this was joy, this was love, those little hands, our strong young bodies with no aches or pains, our parents who are still alive. It all mattered so much more than we ever realised at the time.
That is so good. Love that. Sometimes I got to hit y'all with the heartfelt stuff, but I heard a quote a while back, and it's like, you can't change the past, you can't predict the future, and the present is the most beautiful thing we can, relish in right now, because it's a present. That's why they call it the present. It's a present to just be around and be, present with the people that you love. So that's something I've had to really work on, especially because, I don't know about you guys, but chat, put a one in the chat if you're like this. Like, I'm very much so, I'm a workaholic. I'm obsessed with, social media. I'm obsessed with YouTube because it's my job, essentially. Like, this is how I put food on the table. So I always want to know what's going on, what's happening, what's the new trend, what's a new video, what's this, so I'm always so kind of obsessed on what's going on. And so, it's weird for me to have to kind of take a step back, because as a man, I feel like a lot of us get a lot of validation out of being like hardworking. I get a lot of validation out of being hardworking and being, I guess obsessed in a certain way, because it's like I want to be a good man, and in my opinion, being a good man is a hardworking man, because my grandfather was like that. My dad wasn't like that, but my grandfather was like that. So I'm like, maybe if I worked harder, maybe if I made more money, maybe if I did this. But a lot of times, what Cass really wants is just for me to be present with her and baby Nichs, and just lay in the bed for a little bit longer, watch some TV a little bit longer, just, sit there and just talk to them a little bit longer, hug them a little bit longer. That's the stuff that really means something, not the nice trips, not the nice things for Christmas. Those things are nice, but the stuff that really means the most is just the time spent. All right, let's switch gears. Genuine question for men. What kind of man dates a woman like this? Is this a woman not instantly a put off, or is this woman not instantly a put off? The voice, the attitude, the crazy eyes, the being average at best. All right, let's see. Sid from Ice Age, everybody.
You're telling me I'm supposed to let a man come live in this bedroom?
Very nice bedroom.
This bedroom that I've created, that is so serene, that is calm, soothing, gorgeous.
It is very nice.
Nothing out of place. You're telling me that I'm supposed to let a man come and live in here? That they're gonna put all their stuff in here? Oh, no.
Yeah, you'll be crying when you're a little bit older and you got a bunch of cats, honey. I'm telling you right now, you're going to regret it later on in the future. Later on in the future, you're gonna freaking regret it, I promise you. Because you will be alone, you will be sad, you will have nobody else around with you to enjoy the things that you have. I saw this video, bro, and this is a conspiracy theory that I didn't know I kind of needed to hear, but let's get off into this. This one's kind of crazy.
What if the conspiracy is back when America was formed, our founding fathers were actually the super rich people at the top of society, and they wanted to have control of it instead of the British government. So they whipped up a bunch of grievances and then paid a bunch of poor people to fight a war for them for independence. And then when that war was done, they pit their poor white workers against their enslaved black workers, and they pitted those poor white workers against the native population, who they said, hey, you can go steal their land, to make sure that that white working population would never band together with the enslaved people or the natives, because that would be a threat to their power. And then, what if they took that system and just kept renewing it year after year after year, until they not only control the eastern seaboard, but the entire continental United States? What if all of this came to a head with a civil war in the 1800s that led to the abolition of slavery as a strategic measure to undermine the power of the South because their labor force was predominantly made up of enslaved people? But what if that abolition stopped short of full equality because the same elites wanted to keep up the class divide between their white middle class and their formerly enslaved working class, and their targeted for genocide native class? So rather than make good on their promise of 40 acres and a mule to all of the formerly enslaved people, they instead compensate the former slave owners, who then use their massive pools of wealth to make another system almost identical to slavery, but with a different facade, so they could keep up the wealth inequality that let them believe that they were superior to black people in the general. And what if they maintained that inequality all through industrialization, because it was materially advantageous to those super rich to keep their underclasses divided? And they did that all the way up until the civil rights movement, when there was massive pushback against it. So they offered them some piecemeal concessions, while all the while maligning communism and socialism, the systems that would actually address the inequality that they were using to control the American populace and our entire way of life, social structures, governmental structures, educational structures, institutional structures, while they also undermined those civil rights movements and assassinated their leaders. And then over the next 50-60 years, as people forgot the urgency and the need of those moments, those same super rich elites harken back to this time of even greater wealth and social inequality as some sort of golden era for America, so they can build support for a large fascist movement whose promise is to go back to a time before women had the right to vote, or before segregation had been abolished, or before slavery had been abolished, because they really liked the wealth and control that those versions of society gave them. And what if they have a vested interest in spreading racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, ableist ideas, classist ideas, to continue to divide the population that is beneath them so that they can continue to maintain their control, and possibly push us back into one of these even more horrible versions of the system we have now? What if that's the conspiracy?
I don't know if I agree with honestly any of it. This dude seems like he's done his homework at least a little bit, but the painted nails and the long hair always makes it hard for this to listen. You know what I mean? But you know, I always love to see these conspiracy theories, because it's like, it just is like, you know, I like people thinking freely, and if you want to think some crazy stuff, like, cool, go for it. But I was like, man, that's wild. You know, if any of that has any validity, I was like, oh wow. But I highly doubt any of that's actually correct. But I don't know. I like to see that stuff sometimes. So I've talked about this a lot, but I haven't covered it in a long time. Men versus women survival on an island tells you everything about equality. Women were going in circles, crying and fighting. Men were just vibing and enjoying the challenge. This is from Bear Grylls' The Island. If you've never seen it, you should definitely go watch.
The expedition party have spent all day in the searing heat, only to find they've walked in one big circle, back to Coconut Beach.
How the fuck did that happen? I don't even understand. We cannot walk anywhere on this island without getting lost.
Let's rock and roll, boys! Let's rock and roll! I think we
The dudes are just crushing it.
Let's go! Oh, this is exciting. This is
Why is it you're so adamant you're right all
Just
the time?
hold on. I'm not adamant I'm right.
Yes, you are, because you're dismissing everybody else.
Listen,
Second one, boys, on the third ball, 5th, 6th, 7th. Fuck off. I'm telling you, I'm not going to come out.
Okay, well, where are we going now? Where are we going now?
Just
No
keep
more
going
confrontation or
straight.
arguing.
I don't want to lead. I'm sorry, I don't want to lead this group. I don't want to.
That's the problem. Women are so egalitarian that they're like, nobody wants to lead, but everybody wants to complain. And the boys are just thriving, bro. They're catching fish.
I can't fucking deal with this.
The women have circled back to Coconut Beach for a second time. Having pushed through the jungle for 2 days, they're not one step closer.
It's because men, when left to unstructured play, we create hierarchies, and women don't believe in that. They're so egalitarian, they think that everybody should be equal, and that's a problem.
I feel fine. Another day at the office.
It's really hard.
The dudes are crushing it, gaining weight, catching fish.
Oh my god, that's
massive. Yeah, it's enormous. It's watching us. No.
Though potentially deadly to humans, a crocodile of this size could provide tens of thousands of calories for the women, who have barely eaten in days. The women decide to walk away from this potentially life-saving feast.
Oh my god.
That shifty little bastard's got closer, hasn't he? He's not scared of us. Fucking bastard. Look at me, look at me. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
You're in, you're in, you're in, you're in, you're in.
Here we go, puppy dog.
Yes.
Go.
And the dudes catch one. And I don't know if that's a croc or a garfish.
It's really hot.
Seriously, look how much meat there is on that bad boy. Yeah, boy.
I've spent fucking hours rearranging wet knickers and washing all around this camp and squeezing it out and hanging it up for you.
I've been biting my tongue all the time.
You don't want me to...
Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god!
I'm so ill, but I just need to sleep. Like my throat, I can't swallow.
Enjoy the idyllic tropical sunshine.
Yeah, the dudes, the guys are just on vacation. The women are dying, withering away.
Let the feast begin, boys. Yes.
They're having a buffet of food. Living their best. Look at all this food, dude.
Boys get stuck in, it's like chicken.
We have nothing to drink because we can't boil it to purify it and sterilise it.
Oh god, I feel like it's after Sunday dinner at home. Absolutely lovely.
Lovely.
Really struggling, guys. Yeah, come on, come on. Give some love.
I think they have to take some of the women off the island because their kidneys are failing from dehydration. It's true. Like the producers have to step in multiple times. It's funny.
God. I'm just so thirsty.
I want to kick it with the dudes on this one. This one looks fun.
21 little fishies for the dishes.
Look at this, dude. Feasting, bro.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Can't do that.
And the thing is on this show, I believe they cast a lot of the same professions, like a female construction worker, a male construction worker, a female doctor, a male doctor. So this isn't, this isn't something where it's like a bunch of women that work at TJ Maxx and then a bunch of dudes who are like survivalists. It's fair. Here's a comment. There was one point at the end after the tribes had combined where the men were completely spent of energy from starvation due to the women lying around the entire time doing nothing. They still had to reserve energy and were able to find enough food to get the men the energy to continue. I think for the first time I understood women's role in ancient tribes. Repeal the 19th. This is exactly what happens when countries get Marxist female leaders. In one of those shows, the women recruited some simp betas from the men's group who teamed up with them to vote the alpha guys out. Once that was done, the women turned on the simps who voted them out. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Men are better at something men traditionally enjoy. Shocker. If you put the strengths of one gender against the weakness of the other, they'll always look better. But feminists claim women and men are equal and women can do whatever men can. Fun fact, the women's group included a doctor and a military veteran. So these weren't women that were just they couldn't do anything. These are women that could, hold their own, hypothetically, theoretically. But, they did not hold their own at all. Not hold their own at all. All right, let's switch gears here. This woman is so desperate and wants to be the victim. This is a performative female at play here.
So I just got back from a Hinge date that was supposed to be a coffee date. And I kind of thought there was a red flag when he picked a coffee shop that was 40 minutes away from me and also a chain. But I was like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Men maybe don't look for cute coffee shops. I show up and he's drinking his own coffee already. And I say hi and sit down. And 10 minutes into the conversation, he's like, oh, aren't you going to get a coffee? Pointing to the line. He's like, oh, do you want to wait for the line to die down and then you're going to go up? I was like, okay. So you won't even give me a cup. It was terrible. And I literally came home and just want to cry. Like, it was so terrible. And that sounds dramatic, but, like, it's not. Like, I spent all of my freaking Sunday, like, getting ready for this, getting myself, like, to feel good about it, and it was terrible.
I mean, it does sound bad. I think this problem is twofold in the dating market. Is number one, I don't think boys are taught how to be chivalrous, and number two, you ladies don't want men that are chivalrous. So it's like you're asking for something but saying don't do it. Well, we're like opening doors for you, and you're like, well, I'm an independent woman. I don't need you to open a door. It's like, okay. Like, women begged for equality so much, and now they've actually gotten it, and I think that's the hard pill for them to swallow, because they want chivalry when it benefits them. They want the double standards when they benefit them. When we go to the movies, they want us men to pay. When the Titanic is sinking, they want the men to stay on the boat. You know, there's a lot of things that women say they want, but in reality, they really don't. They don't want equality when it comes to the dating market, because if they wanted equality, that means they want to start approaching men. And I'll be the first one to tell you, women don't want to approach men.
How about no?
Women don't have game. Every woman, 9 out of 10 women, I would say, maybe even 10 out of 10 women in chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. If you asked a woman, would you rather a man approach you or you approach a man? I bet almost all of them would say, I would rather a man approach me. That's just what it is. Women want to be approached. Women want to feel special. They want a man that takes control, that's manly and masculine. But then they want to say they're strong and independent and don't need a man. What? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. This is the reality that you've begged for, and now you've got it. Now you've got it. And then also, why would you say, yeah, I'll go to a date with you for something that's 40 minutes away? Not be like, hey, that's 40 minutes away. Can we choose something that's a little bit closer? That's the women's side of it. The man's side of it, I don't think there's a lot of men teaching their young sons how to be the gentleman that we used to be taught. I wasn't taught how to be a gentleman. I had to actually go out and learn. I was obsessed back in the day with how to be a gentleman, how to learn how to shake hands, how to learn how to be classy, because I was raised up so poor that the only thing I could do for people to take me serious was to look the part, feel the part, act the part, because I didn't have the money to spend the money the way these men did. So I pulled up something that just kind of talks about like the gentleman's journal, that kind of talks about like what do you need to be a man. A gentleman never tells. Number 2, a gentleman knows that anything worth having is worth working hard for. I've talked about this a lot. A gentleman knows how to dance, and this could be simple, dude, like a 2-step, something that's very simple. A gentleman helps anyone with their baggage. A gentleman always RSVPs. A gentleman knows the difference between confidence and arrogance. There's a big difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence is knowing that you have the ability and not having to say anything. Arrogance is exuding that and saying, I can do whatever I want. I'm better than you. That's arrogance. A gentleman is open-minded. I try to be open-minded. A gentleman constantly proves that chivalry is not dead. For me, I think chivalry is dead a lot in modern dating, but between Cass and I keep it very well alive. A gentleman should go out of his way to ensure he never makes anyone cry. Well, maybe sometimes I do that. A gentleman never lies. A gentleman doesn't always make the first move. I don't know about that. I think a gentleman can make the first move, but you always gotta read the room. You can't advance on a woman that you can tell is really not into you. A gentleman means what he says and says what he means. Yep. For a lady, a gentleman always offers seats and opens the door. Yeah. A gentleman never judges. I definitely judge. A gentleman is well presented, which is why I like to dress well, keep my hair well kempt, and keep my beard kempt. Shout out to my barber, dog. You know what I'm saying? A gentleman has a firm handshake and always makes eye contact. This is a big one. Shake a man's hand, look him in the freaking face, dude. A gentleman always offers his coat to a lady. A gentleman knows how to cook. I'm not the best cook, I'll be honest. I'm kind of like, eh. A gentleman always walks a woman home. A gentleman doesn't insist on paying a bill. I insist on paying, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the southern boy in me, you know. But I've just kind of got that energy about me. Destroy them, oh God, cast them out with the multitude of their transgressions. The type of energy we're bringing in 2026. What is this? What is going on? Oh, they're practicing. Oh, that's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. I saw a video the other day that broke my heart. I'll have to show you guys one of these days. They said, what's been the thing that has killed 1/3 of all Gen Z kids? A lot of people said drugs. A lot of people said overdoses. People said suicides, unalivings. And it was actually abortion. Abortion has killed a third of Gen Z children. That's truly heartbreaking. It really is. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It was good to have you guys out, man. Until next time, peace.